If you ask me, okay, how are you going to get there? I don't have to give you those answers either. I hope I, prefaced it wisely. But it so happens that everything that we are facing in this regard happens to be human-made. The organizations are human-made. We inherited them. Hopefully, we don't subscribe to religious views that they are shadows of God or something at this point. So if human beings created them, human beings can get ourselves out of these human entanglements. So I'm not talking about anything that requires going against laws of physics. So it can't be that naive. But on the other hand, there are things that are beyond human power that are lurking. There are natural disasters that may be around the corner, we don't know. And once again, I say nation states are not powerful enough to deal with these things. They're not prepared. By the way, before 9/11, I was impressed when the celebrations of year 2000 were truly global, following all around Pacific Islands, etc., going, kind of like a relay race going, okay, you are at 2000 here, now, blah, 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 all around the world. And I imagined at the time, well, they're doing this only because they can, they're at that point. So maybe there'll be another one in 2001, 2002, but no. While that kind of technology did exist on the ground, there was no technology to predict or to detect a tsunami of the magnitude that we saw in 2004. How come? I don't know. Was not a priority, apparently. So there may be far worse things coming, and the states are not prepared. So what I say is there are human institutions that we should be able to collectively get rid of, but there are non-human threats facing us, including contagious diseases, for which obviously our societies are not prepared. And with more urbanization, more air travel, more this and that, more possibilities of obviously terrorists spreading diseases, we are getting more and more vulnerable. So we have to point to our collective powerlessness also. We have collectively the power to get rid of our institutions, but even collectively we do not have the power to deal with certain natural disasters and diseases, etc. Or even insects. Mosquitoes are still killing more people than nuclear weapons or any kind of weapons, or the diseases that they spread. So given these two facts, we have enough in our hands, maybe as a school child, to say, okay, where you're going is not good enough, and there are things that we are not prepared for. And any national leader should be able to face these two facts. Of course, many of them will be inclined to say, oh, we're the good guys. The United States is a force for good in the world, right? Right, it is true. In some respects, it has been a good force, but not good enough. Maybe one credential I may claim here is that since my teenage years, I did not pledge my allegiance to any human institution, to any nation state, any organized church, or blah, blah, blah. So I say there is life. There is life outside this kind of loyalty. Well, at least there's this much of it. I don't know. Such as it is. It's not a comfortable life. It's not a life that is easy to explain to nationalists, by the way, because neither nationalists nor socialists, let's say, nor Catholics or whatever, are, let's say, comfortable comprehending these things. Oh, you mean there are people who are not nationalists or enemies of nationalists? How do they breathe? Well, so I say, we may not have all the solutions. We don't have to promise all the solutions. And some of this obviously has to be open-ended and open to collaboration. And some of this may include collaboration with our present enemies, so to speak. I think we shouldn't give the impression that we want less security. No, we want more security in more respects, in more fields of our lives. And hopefully this may come at a lower financial cost. But it may take more, let's say, labor-intensive work on our part. More of us may have to volunteer our time and energy and, let's say, intellectual power. We may have to, let's say, deputize ourselves in some respects, and at the same time invite others to watch over our shoulders for our efforts towards security. So I say, when people say that, okay, we have to increase the measures, this and that, our instincts do not have to be against such things. By the way, I'm among other things, bringing to the table some promise to make contributions to the cause beyond what I was able to do. And part of this may be possible because I'm a victim of the NYPD also. I don't want to bring too much attention to my case, but if I would be remiss if I did not give you the promise that if things are done right, I may get something get some of the stuff that I lost to the NYPD back and whether share it with others. But I wouldn't refuse to work with local police forces or the local firefighting forces, whatever, if I see that, okay, they're in a position to help here and there. At the same time, I don't have to be dogmatic believer in their efficiency, efficacy, etc. I think, I don't know, in terms of time, I can yield this. I'm always open to answering questions, etc. One thing I want to end with is that obviously these conflicts did not start with the United States. There had been conflicts in that region going before the advent of history anyway. And one of the things that I think most people should agree on is that the invasion of Afghanistan in 1979 was one of the dumbest decisions also. It's not that it didn't start with the United States, obviously. And the attack on Iran by Iraq was also another huge dumb mistake. So, not to mention a crime against humanity. So I hope we'll go beyond just blaming the United States. So I yield the floor at this point. Thank you.